Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Islands of Insight. So, let's see, what did we finish last time? I think we did this Reflections in the Sky or Vanishing Point. No, we did Vanishing Point, which introduced a whole new Shy Auras puzzles, which, yeah. The game itself wants me just to move on to the next area. My desire here would be to check out Solitary Island first. Let's see where we are as far as shards. There is something very weird about this game when you exit out, like, because I basically finished a rare quest last episode for about 2,000 sparks. And I got rewarded, I think, 500 sparks here. Which, if I had just the difference of that, 2,500 minus that, that would have been 38 sparks extra that we ended the last episode on. So there was just a clear glitch in this solo mode, and maybe it's something that wouldn't show up in the multiplayer MMO mode, that when you reload it just removes the exact amounts that you were earned. So we're now like way further behind. So inherently it would be smarter to just not do these quests, but since we are trying to make YouTube content here, let's not let that get in the way. In the end, it's not even going to really affect much, which is more of a statement as far as just how pointless the entirety of... There's something here. Yeah, the entirety of the sparks element. There's like a hidden cube somewhere here, but I'm also seeing just like a lot of trees shimmering in the wind. It's not actually directly near this tree. Might be way up there. Can't quite reach that location. I guess there's just a lot of these flying things all over the place. And then there's just a lot of everything everywhere in the main world, and it's still just not really worth spending a lot of time looking at all of this. We'll have to run around and try and get all the lore things. We'll have to run around and try and do things in the overworld after we get this far. Is another trans-universal proverb attuned to nobody. Two who stand together have one shadow. One would assume that the trans-universal proverbs are extra in their fillerness. We did in the last episode unlock these. No, these are music ones. Ooh. We'll just go ahead and use the foresights here to adjust things to get the rest of that. That's probably just like a perfect time to use foresights right as we're entering a new area. Of course, the desire here, this is a memory puzzle, so this should be easier. Okay. See, I'm kind of assuming that there's a pattern here, but it may not be as much of a pattern as it seems. And this is not really one that needs any, like, foresight changes. Like, it would be wasteful, really, to do any foresight here. When you can just go glimpse back and forth and take a smaller penalty, because we really are at a point now where losing foresights is a bigger penalty than other things, because you just need them ready to go. So there is a shy oriole. That one was from... It didn't want me to look at it. Where are we supposed to be going here? This one, more than likely, was the one that if it hears your footsteps, it will disappear. They're basically the boos in Mario 64, with just different visuals to it. Yeah, somewhere here is a teleporter, and I don't see it. Instead, I'm seeing this little section that has quite a lot of puzzles to do. Okay, so now I have chroma sky drops and basically no sky drops in this area that I can actually do anything with. Which, yeah, that bonus is, I think, going to prove itself to be fairly useless. So was there any other way up to this spot? Not really. So off we go to yet another enclave. It really feels like it should just take control away from you as you fly. Solitary island, is it lonely? Okay. One symbol per line. That is an example of a puzzle that should have been solved fairly easily. One symbol per line. It should have been solved perfectly, really. Well, that can't be one, that can't be one, that can't be one, that can't be one, that can't be one. This could be one. And I can do that. And then that brings that down that way. So, is there another way? That can't be one. That could be one. So we're supposed to learn about new grid rules, 2 out of 6. Apparently we've already done 2 of them. Which I guess are just these pillars. And then solve 13 sky drops. This might very well be a reinforcement situation where the one symbol per line area includes that. Interesting. So exactly 1 means less than 2. That seems like that did not need stating, but whatever. Yeah, not a lot of commentary or criticism can be really made around such simplistic puzzles, although in fairness, I really am just out of the button there. Exactly 1 means less than 0. I mean more than 0. Now in this puzzle, was there ever a point where 0 could have been a possibility? Not really. Reversing the pillar. So now it wants me to solve all 22 logic grids in the area. You'd think this would be the point where you would run into real challenge. Okay, 3, 6, 7, 8. Why is this a problem? Exactly 1 symbol per dark area. Oh, so that has to be dark somewhere. And that means that has to be dark. And that was going to run into that problem anyways. with it, I guess. Okay, well, that one was super easy just because of the ridiculous nature of the numbers there. That you obviously just need to, if the numbers are going to be huge, you need to just keep everything connected. Connect those two, which probably means that two has to be connected, and then 3, 2, like that. Do that. So we'll put a dark there, dark there, dark there, dark there. And then we run into an issue. This needs 10. Which means probably we need to do something like that and that. But that still isn't good enough. So do something like that and that. And that gets our 10 correct. Gets that 3, and that gets that 3. So this 4 here is going to be the tough one, I would say. Okay, 13. That's going to put a tight leash on that. Inherently, this has to go that way. Okay. And then this is possibly 7. If we did that, like that. But then we've got to connect that back that way. And so we are 1 off. Again, just for the sake of time, it is more worthwhile. Before I would do the mysteries, it totally makes sense to find every Tower of Insight and do that in the world. 1 symbol per dark area. I also have to question something here. In that, why is it the case that we are what's the best way to say this? Two, 4, 6, 8. Why is it the case that all the puzzles are so close to each other? Like, wouldn't it make more sense to have better used the level designs? Like, we kind of are both capable of complaining about the level design not really mattering, and in the same thought complaining about the fact that there's now level design that is being underused, or that has been overused in the past. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense here. But well, I have to go there, don't I? This has to be white. This has to be white. Wow. So that is just totally wrong. Well, then that means that has to be that way. And that also means that that has to go that way. Suppose the sky drops definitely are still playing a role as far as level design is concerned. If I am going to start doing sky drops, that may very well trigger the chromatic sky drops and the sky drop combos, so I should do all the sky drops. At the same time, that's a sky drop bonus. And I believe that was one of the sky drops that we could see from another island. Yeah, the sky drop bonus is not going to be very useful either, is it? It's only 60 seconds or so. You're just not likely to be able to run around and solve all of this. This definitely feels like a game where the speedrun strategies on it would be very interesting to watch, because there would be a very high amount of memorization necessary to do all of that. One symbol per area. Don't make any squares. Area numbers must be correct. One symbol per light area, not one symbol per area in general. This inherently means you have to go to this spot at the least. And then the rest of these we're hoping will fit. Okay. One symbol per light area. Means that much is done. And this much is done. And I can't put a light area here because then this can't go to 3, so that's got to be dark. Still opportunities. There's really no reason to, you would put a light one there, a light one there, a light one there. So where does this line up? Either one of these could be fine. Either one of these could be fine. This has to be light. Just to stop this pattern. If I did this, then this has to be light to stop that pattern. And then this has to be light to stop that pattern. Okay. And then just a slight modification on my first instinct there. Which I suspect means something like that. And I guess there's probably just a snaking nature to these puzzles, in that as long as you're kind of in the middle, you will stop any patterns from arriving. And there definitely is an argument to doing each of these puzzles let's see, that doing each of these puzzles that are next to each other does make a decent amount of sense. You don't want to wander too far away from the location and then work on something that has a different theme and rule set to it. There's a weirdness here, I would say, in that it feels like the trick here we've got too many pieces. Does it save me anything to do it that way? I guess it does. This just kind of feels like a fairly easy area, considering it also feels like it's a totally extra area that the game isn't really interested in having you engage with. Let's see what this one has to say. To the right observer, even a hole in a log can be beautiful. We've seen several points now where looking through holes of things leads to the right pattern. Still a lot of sky drops. Yeah. Having so many sky drops around, it's no surprise that lining it up would be difficult. So that has to be at least white. Right. And we can actually jump down to a thought here. And that much also needs to be that way. So then we do one of those so that we can do that, so we can do that. How many logic puzzles are there? Not that many more. There's 8 more in the whole area. And I don't think any of these are going to run me into a difficult spot. Like, pretty much, you do something like that, and then you fill in the rest very quickly. Now, there is perhaps a complaint that can be made in that solving this quickly is also violating the chances of getting a perfect score. And this one looks like it's could be a little bit more tough. But maybe not. These enclaves are all visually very similar for this region, and that's a shame. That's one thing that the fact that we just don't have infinite video RAM causes a problem. That you can't pre-render shaders, you can't pre-render textures. Forget about shaders that do the lighting, although those are the big things these days that tend to seem to cause problems as far as just you need more GPU power than you used to. But just different textures. If half of these enclaves were loading in architectural features from the other main sections, I would find that much more varied, less dull. I definitely think I probably just walk past. Okay. So we have to do something along this line for that one. Looks like we could probably just jump the gun a little bit. increasingly clicking the wrong thing. But yeah, I suppose if you see a puzzle, the next step is to look around to see if you see a sky drop. And then if you see a sky drop, the next step would be to look around and see if you see a not sure how this really is gonna all play out. The numbers are big enough. Yeah. I think what we're gonna end up doing is something like this. One symbol per dark area. Interesting. Without actually counting, let's just see how far this goes. Because this is going to be what paints us into a corner. So that's exactly 15 there. We know there's some weirdness there. What, that's not gonna work. So that has to be there. That has to be there. But then how in the world does that work? Unless it's just gonna go there. No. Actually, I'm still one short. Okay. So we have to curve all the way around there. That was a little bit trickier. It definitely does feel like there's a possibility here, though, that you'll just have clumps of these sky drops, and you would just always struggle with them. Enough that you would never be able to find even one pair to narrow down the possibilities. Speaking of narrowing down possibilities, I do have this desire to potentially turn the graphics back up. But you know what? If the game is running smoother now, and that had anything to do with it, which it very well may have had nothing to do with it, I should just live with where the graphics are. It's hardly a case that the graphics are bad looking. Okay. That much. one symbol per light area. Doesn't really actually change that much, does it? One symbol per dark area. This is just way too much. One, two, three, four. Something like that. And that makes this light area. Okay. Yep. Just way easier to fiddle. Just make some baseless assumptions to start with, and then take those baseless assumptions through their paces. I suppose at a certain level that is just the scientific method. We really get down to it, that you form a guess, a hypothesis, and you test that hypothesis. Ideally, in many scenarios, your hypothesis is going to be proven to be in no way correct, and as such you'll take your observations from experimenting on that hypothesis to form a new hypothesis, or at least publish detailed accountings as to why your theory, well, they use very specific terms. Yeah, you would publish why your hypothesis was wrong, and you would come to a conclusion, or at least a new belief. Okay. Again, it might just be easier to do this. And that only gets you so far, which I think inherently means that has to also be included. And then that means either this or this is included. This could go 1, 2, 3, but not there, so that has to be white. This could go 1, 2, 2, 3, 4 that way, but this has to go this way, and this has to go that way. So then that means that has to go that way, but it can't go that way, can it? So we need more. So the question here is what doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. If we did that, that would work there. That doesn't matter, so if we did that, we could move there. Which then would let me do that. And that's all the logic cubes. Shame I didn't have a luminous quest to solve logic cubes while doing this island. That would have been very helpful. So I don't even need to look for logic cubes now because of the bonus. We may come back later. This is all going to revolve around... See, that's a different island. Yep. This is all going to revolve around sky blocks. And so I see these orbs are giant as far as the sky drops, not sky blocks. I'm confusing Minecraft feed the beast type mods. We're confusing the name with a Minecraft mod. But yeah, because the sky drop is really big, when I'm near it, I can assume I should be viewing it and approaching it from a different angle. What's weird about this one though is there's not enough. There are, here's, you have a tiny one. This tiny one there. Hmm. 30 seconds of chroma. Okay. The chroma may actually help us here. If we can get to the right spot. It may really act more just as a pointer to the right spot. Wow, there's so many of them being included in this. Is that two different shades of green? I think it is. Come on. Yep. One would think you would also have it better programmed so that you wouldn't just have the exact same shades of a color next to each other. So there was something on both sides of that window to see. This is a thin little platform. Let's get to this island that almost certainly has one sky drop. And there's really only one more, I bet, in this whole island, and then we'll just be done with this enclave in a fairly short amount of time. And I would suspect maybe that's the deal as to why the game isn't making this a required enclave, is that this is just perhaps a little too simple. Feels kind of like they're trying to have you do a refresher course. but the concepts are actually new. Or somewhat new, at least. Of course, we could also... Are there really no other sky drops? It's just a small group of them. Really tiny one here. Maybe I have to look at it through this spot. There's no tiny hole on the side of the log. So it's just gonna be here's one too, so we need to be behind that. And there's some more in the tree. That would be very least very small. If only every enclave was this easy. Like this, honestly, I think is about the perfect design you would want for each enclave. You're only really having two types of puzzles, with Towers of Insight making up for the third type of puzzle. And they are logic grids and sky drops. Sky drops make you move around a lot. Logic grids obviously don't. Just a great balance there. I don't know what else I could really want. For the most part, I would really just hope that the rest of the game was that balanced. Then we have a blue light shooting through the ground. Spend too much time around an area like this because this is just kind of a random area that we've landed on, but yeah, we're seeing the gimmick of going through logs in this area quite often. It's been a long time since we've done a visual thing. I think the move here is that you've got to get that little line of the tree to line up. I'm not sure where you're supposed to line the tree up. So inherently this is just going to be move a little, click a little, click a lot. Has it ever been the case that there have been red herrings on the marks? Definitely seems more correct. I guess the question is how much time should I spend on this? So I think, yeah, that was a lot of work. Right. And so where do we want to go? We are over here. We don't want to go there. We want to go here and check out this puzzle. Which, yeah. Being able to add multiple markers and then not taking off the multiple marker could be problematic. And the all-seeing monolith. I don't know if there really is any hint as far as the all-seeing monolith. Like, is it possible that the fact that we don't see one there means there's one there, or we don't see one in between these angles? I guess inherently that would be the way to search for it, is you would just kind of go in those widening vectors, but that would become extremely cumbersome extremely fast. Yep. Yeah, I guess I am trying to grab as many resources, as many points and sparks as possible while we're doing all of this. Didn't I already do this one? Apparently not. So there's just one that looks very similar. So off we go. Now what would be crazy is if you got a jump that didn't shot you all in that very far up. So mysterious areas, the truth within ambiguity. Learn the barrier insight, touch 4, shy auras, find 8 hidden cubes, complete the chain of logic grids, solve 3 of the scattered logic grids. Okay. Area numbers must equal the number in the region. Now we have a case where we have to pick what the colors are going to be. There's no numbers touching each other, so inherently we do know. I think there's room for extras here, though. That one's not a chain. There's actually quite a lot of noise going on in this area. Okay. So in this one, I think you are going to connect everything. Well, that can't be right. This one would have to be black. This one could be white. This one could be black. That makes that white, which makes those black, which then makes all of those work that way. Which I think means this has to be black. Let's make that assumption. These have to all connect. Makes all of those. That has to be black at that point. That has to be black at that point. That has to be white. That has to be black to connect that. Black and white. I can see that confusing people, though. This is inherently engaging in something that is new. And it's a new way of thinking, to say the least. So this has to be black. And then if this was black, then this couldn't be black and this couldn't be black, so this has to be black. This inherently has to be white, which means that, and that, and that. And then no way have I succeeded in calling the tiles dark and light. I guess I am just too used to kind of neutrally describing things as black and white. Whereas obviously they're intentionally trying to have you use the phrase dark and light to avoid any perceived racism that might come about. 3, 6. If that was the case, then that would have to be white, so that doesn't work. That does, however. Yeah, and I would say that's probably being overly cautious, too, that they have labeled the tiles as dark and light. Although I'm making a big assumption there. This may very well be more of a case that it's just a localization from dark light labeling that you might have in, say, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Same kind of thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. In that a lot of cards were labeled as black, like Black Magician in Yu-Gi-Oh! Famous card, very popular in the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series. It gets renamed to Dark Magician. But I guess that is all actually part of the same thing. The reason Dark Magician is renamed to, or the Black Magician is renamed to Dark Magician, is probably because of a removal of reference to either black magic or reference to just the phrase black. Yeah. I'm kind of rambling here. This is going to fill it out very quickly. And see, this might be a very tight area, but I'm not sure I'm in love with it. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work, but it has to be dark here. But then that gives you 6 to start with. And you need a lot more room. If I started this as white, there's no way. And 2 really can only be there and there. Wait a minute. Is there some possibility you could just do that? But no, even that wouldn't work. So that immediately has to be that way. And then this also has to be that way. It has to go there. And then that sends it. Alright. Yeah, that was exactly perfect. Okay. Overthinking it, I think. These shy auras are of the covert variety, so they don't have a specific labeled color to them. If they were labeled a proper color, I would know exactly, well, I theoretically would know exactly how to sneak up on them. In reality, I probably wouldn't know, because I don't think I'm ever going to engage with the colored, labeled variety of shy auras again. Just a lot of noise still. Good news is that most of this goes away. Eloi, or Elo AI, the scholar, is only within the realm of mathematics that the most fantastical objects can be constructed. The number that contains every other number, a shape that contains every other shape, a world that contains every other world. I am definitely leaning towards the thought that this is a computer program. I would say that's something that the Talos Principle, I think, does pretty nicely, in that at the very beginning of the game it pretty much tells you you're in a computer program. It's not trying to even pretend like it's smarter than the player in that aspect. Yeah. Let's see. We did that. And then we did that. That's too much, though. That's probably it. And I definitely think I would prefer to have a game. Just not try and pretend like it can outthink me. When it probably can't. No, that's not just me. If you really think about it, your average gamer has probably played hundreds, if not thousands, of games. Personally, I've definitely probably played hundreds or thousands of games. So with that, I just have way more experience than any game developer is likely ever going to have. A big part of that also is going to come down to the fact that game developers, if they are actually being good game developers, are going to be hamstrung into... Yeah, there's no way around that, is there? Yep. I'm really way off here. I was making good progress for a while. If we did that, did that, did that, did that, did that, that's too many. Seriously doubt we are doing anything correctly here. But we're not too far off from a solution. But noticeably there's a spot here that's being wasted. There's a spot here that's being wasted. Let's use a foresight. So that is supposed to be white. Okay. So then I'm going to shift that away. That's supposed to be white. So I'm going to shift that away. That's supposed to be dark. Shift that away. That's supposed to be dark. That's supposed to be dark. Interesting. No clue what's going on now. That's supposed to be white. Okay. So what would be the next step? I think we need one more white over here. Well, you know what? Instead of sitting here, there's plenty of other things to do. So let's... let's run around and collect things. This might be one of the few places where there is going to be enough. This one is a slow approach. Which on the keyboard, WASD, still is weird. Just go and do all of these. Okay. This probably will be fairly simple because I bet this is all just going to be tutorial stuff. And no, I'm not going to start clicking on view explanation for all of these. Interesting. These chains are effectively just towers of insight being done once again. So we've got to curve quite a bit there. Which I bet means all of that is white. That. And that. 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 If I was actually reading what these were saying, this might be helpful information. So yeah, there's perhaps a case here to be said around having just like the linking ones take you in different directions. But yeah, that is really questionable whether following this whole chain, which apparently we haven't completed the chain of the logic grids yet. Seems like we would have. I guess there's one more. Yeah. So do that. Do that. That creates a problem. How can we solve that problem? We solve it that way. Well, that has to be 2. Yeah, I don't get it. Don't get how you could connect everything. Because inherently, that needs to be like that. Which I guess you could do that. Okay. That was a little bit more of a challenge. And sometimes it's mirror blisses, and sometimes, well, sometimes it's towers of insight, sometimes it's chains of insight, or logic, chain of logic grids, whatever I want to describe them as. It's kinda too easy to end up getting a mirror bliss and then just immediately another mirror bliss. Still haven't learned the barrier insight. Still a whole bunch of hidden cubes. Oh, this is interesting. In the shady wildwood, we have done enough to unlock an outfit. Yeah. Of course, that does just... I can't collapse this. We're still 1,500 in the negative. So spending 6,000 sparks to get this is actually probably going to be wasteful. Because we really shouldn't be taking the Luminous quest, the daily quest anyways. We should be saving up for this, or spending all of our resources to unlock these 2 upgrades. And Warp Beacon does sound like something that would be interesting. Yeah, we have another outfit we've just unlocked. All kinds of hidden cubes everywhere. Suppose this is probably our barrier technique. Which, yeah. could do something like that. That's going to cause a problem. So we have to do something like that. It means that has to be dark and that has to be dark. Okay. So, same thought. Expanding on these thoughts. Yeah, inherently, these are all going to line up in ways that force you towards that next choice. Then we can just fill in the rest of it. Nope. It's probably the best we can do is that. Yeah, I suspect there's just a pattern one must follow around all this. Didn't quite get that right. Okay. Need 3 more. That needs to go there, that needs to go there. These can't connect. That has to go there. That means that's there. And then we need 1 more, so that's there. Okay. He's there. Another way this could have been done. Nope, my count was just off. Just start with some random guesses. Now, inherently, there is this possibility that I'm not sure this is going to be exactly right. Yeah, there's a possibility that the whole system would break. And that you wouldn't have just a pattern. Okay, 337 locks that in. Weirdly, that almost felt like there had to be something else to that. Not sure if there really did need to be something else to it, though. Well, that has to go there. This could go here. That has to be white, that has to be white. That has to be white, that has to be white. That doesn't inherently have to be white, though. This could just be that. That has to be black now. Then that has to be black. It always did. Could this be white? No. Could this be white? No. So how do I get a 6 in here? Means one of these. None of these numbers are correct. Or close enough. So it means inherently that's not helpful. That something here is wrong. If I made this white, then made that black, that wouldn't work. If I made this white, if I made this white, and then these two black. You have to include the central spot. So it's not. I guess it is possible. No, I don't have a clue. Let's use a foresight and see what it tells me. Okay, it says that is white, which would then make those black, which would make that black, which then to even begin to get that correct would have to do something like that. And I think that probably will get me back on track now, because then we can do that much at least, and then know that much is true, and then know that much is true, and know that much is true. You assume that much is true. Yeah, these towers of insight taking way less room, doing just about the same thing as the chains, although noticeably it didn't give me a hint. Okay. Is this one where you have to approach slowly? No. I don't think so. Is it possibly one where you have to approach backwards, not looking at it? If it is, that's asking quite a lot. I think it is a footstep one. We need one more scattered logic grid and one more shy aura. So we are here. jump over here, and then fly around in a circle, and not make any footsteps. So inherently, if this game did not have the gliding, flying ability, then that as a trick would not happen. Alright, wow. That's crazy. Wow. I only needed to recharge a couple things. Although I'm also noticing this game is screwing up in some weird ways, where I'm not able to actually click on the button that says press spacebar. We are done with this area. Okay. So on that, I would say there's a kind of lack of polish on that compared to the previous one we did, but it still worked pretty well. What I want to do, though, is we've done every single one except for Dare of the Trians, which required a lot. So let's fast travel way over here. And handle that while we're at it. Notice you did have kind of near instantaneous teleportation there, so at least in my case, since I have a decent amount of RAM and video RAM, it is probably not that difficult to might be overthinking this way more than I need to. These are probably pretty basic puzzles. Are we going the right direction? Yeah. Connect all the black dots. Connect all the light cells. So just easiest to probably do that, and then think about what path makes the most sense as far as connecting white cells. That would block off those. Interesting. So you have this corner here, which I need. You're kind of forced into that. At that point. So this feels like it's wrong. The only way this really would work is if you could wrap around some way and connect to things. That has to be white, which inherently means all of that has to be white. shadows have to be black, which inherently means that has to be black. Well, I mean, if you were to change it that way, that does nothing to actually help you. Do that much. We can do that much, but then that inherently is black too. So we gotta cross over in that spot. Oh, I see. This is me making the same mistake again, which I've done before, in that I was thinking these central spots are unconnectable, and they are connectable. Yeah, there's some hard limitations here. Let's just use the foresights as much as possible. Okay. Can't turn these all. That was more work than I really wanted to spend on that. Yeah. We're about to do some triunes, so it's probably not really worth doing all this. Need this piece to somehow be movable. How would that be possible? Yeah, you gotta do something like that, but then no. This piece needs to be able to move. I'm not 100% sure I believe that everything that is needed here is actually available here. Yeah. This piece here needs to be able to move. Yes. Yeah, I'm not even seeing another match that I could actually pull off. That doesn't do anything, that doesn't do anything. Going downward doesn't do anything, so either your first move is this, which then I guess you could do this second move here. That doesn't get you to the solution. Or, first move is this. Which that too doesn't get you to the solution. Yep. And I guess at a certain level, there's no reason to spend a lot of time on this until we're actually going to start to see if I really have the motivation to try and do all of the puzzles in an open world area. We inherently know that there's a lot of stuff we left in this single area. Some of these have this different symbol. Chromatic. Or chromatic. And I guess if you don't see any chromatics and you're looking at sky blocks, then you probably aren't looking at them at the right angle. So I could see how this could make this way easier. Of course, we've got the bonus now, and I don't think we're gonna find any more. Of course, I'm doing nothing as far as we're going the right direction. Nope, not really. Why is the map pointing me kind of in the wrong direction? Because I was going this way. And there's just a whole bunch of markers. It does feel believable that this trireme puzzle enclave would lead to something else. Learning a new trick of some sort. There is a possible scenario, unfortunately, here where if your goal is just to get sparks and be efficient about getting sparks, you might just do the luminous quests, as many as you can, by saving up all the puzzles in the overworld, and then not. This required 80 merit blisses. We have 108 now, but that inherently means you were going to have to be halfway through the game before you could do this. This one. Shattered Oasis, a philosophy of logic. Let's see what this has to say. The wise become wise when the rest are sleeping. Another proverb. I wouldn't be surprised if the responses by clicking on these are not unique to the location. So had I clicked on more of these, I may have already gotten that trans-universal proverb somewhere else, and they may very well just be giving me the next thing. Alright, this is fairly zoomed out. I am looking at my monitor from about 8 feet away, which is a mistake that I one day plan on correcting. Okay, that was wrong. We can tell that was wrong. I think that there's probably a lot we've done wrong. I think move is you've got to kind of start at the top here. Try for something like that. See, if I did that, that does really nothing. But that probably is the right move. Did that. That won't work. This has to get rid of that. So we need this to move. Let's just restart. Yeah. Now, I don't know how to get rid of this. If I do this down here, that gets rid of 4 of them, and that's too many, leaving only 2. I need this to get up there first. Guess maybe we could do that. I don't think that's right. To be. So you do that and you totally messed up. Doing that does nothing. guess if we did that, that leaves 3. Then that does push that into a weird position. Let's see, you do that and that, and you know what? This may just be that these are really, really difficult, and that's why they're locked up in such a way. That is very possible. So if I lined up that like that, then I can't solve anything. So you've got to start on that side at least with that. You probably want to start with that first, then that, then that, and that. Seriously, am I going to be able to solve any of these puzzles? And I can't really cheat here either because you don't have a match 3 hint option like the logic grids. This may really just be a testament to my true lack of skill that I've been able to cheat past all of this so far. I may just not have enough of a tolerance for this. I wonder if maybe there's a trick to all of this. If there is a trick, it's gotta get this blue. Did we try this one? These are huge. I think I can effectively see what went wrong here. Somebody clearly made some giant puzzles. since this base here is all super easy to solve, I imagine the trick is to try and line up something. So you do something like that, and then that lets you line up that. And then what would the next lineup really be? Do something like that. I'll let you line up something like that. And where are we going with this? I think that is that. Okay. But there's too many spiders here. Now. So if you throw something down like that, still not going to really line up. So is the move to clear? See, that seems wrong. That seems right. These 5 spider tiles need to get moved around in some way. This one. So if we got that out of the way, and if we got that out of the way, if we got that out of the way, none of that is going to help. Spider tiles and several of these. Does that work? The trick is we've got to lower this side, so we've got to make more matches here. How can we make more matches there? Even if we lower it down to that entire amount, that doesn't really do anything. And I don't think there's a difference really from matching different parts on this base. If that goes down all the way, it still doesn't do anything. totally lucked into this as a solution. Now it says do 6 of these. I suspect there is more than 6. How do we get rid of this? That's the move. No, that's still not the move. We know it's here. We need this and this at the end. So we need to be able to eliminate everything else. And there's no way to eliminate just one of these. You'd eliminate both. So we would want blue and a green. Is there a way to get blue and a green to stay at the top? Eliminate everything else, I guess. That does leave you with the blue and the green, just not in the right places. And we might as well just try others. Right. This one stands out as something that's going to be at the very bottom. The brightness on this is something. Got to probably move that down there and move that down there and clear off that side. If that is true, then I bet this clears off that side. I bet a lot of this is all about 2 out of 6. If I did this, then this, then this, then this, that leaves you with little left. That probably just tells me that this whole section isn't what to focus on. Probably means you're supposed to do something like that. Perhaps there is something to be said about moving things away. Something else. Yeah, none of that fixes that. You gotta move it all the way that way. Those are concepts that I have done in the past with trirunes, but just haven't really done a lot of trirunes lately. Okay, starting at the bottom was a mistake. That probably was pretty obvious. We need to figure out what will change things and what won't, and see if we can make good use of that, keeping things around. So these two actually don't feel like they're any different. Okay. That's not right. That's not right. It's got something closer to that. Yeah. I honestly did not think I was going to be able to get 6 done. Again, this just feels so tiny. Oh, this is so small. And you can't right click and zoom in like you can in the main game. That is probably correct. That's probably correct. That would be a mistake. We need this green, however, to migrate all the way to the other side. Interesting. So, if we were to focus exclusively on migrating the green to the other side, is there a way to do that? Is there a way to migrate the greens on the other way? No. It's just gonna make it more difficult. Oh, this is asking quite a lot. In part because I can't see any of it. I think that clearly the first step here is to figure out how to make this go where it needs to go. If you do that, I guess maybe you could do that. Slightly different move there. Slightly different move there. Slightly different move there. I need to get rid of these blues too. All that just seems really difficult. So let's not bother with it for a moment. Start over here in the middle. Do we have enough now for this? Okay, that makes that considerably simpler. One more, and then we would just get the bonus quest. I imagine bonus quest is just going to be solve the rest of these. Okay. Empty spaces are walls is an insight. Well, I don't think that insight's gonna help me much. But clearly it was an insight that you needed to unlock one more hint towards the mysteries. And they show you that area, at least in the way I played, fairly early. And so yeah, before you even could reach that area, I had seen that area, and they clearly are trying to tell you to go and check that area at some point. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So either make a group of 3 and a group of 3, or make yeah, you have to do a group of 3 and a group of 3. There's no other pattern I can think of where that would make sense. We need this to come downward. Start over again. Take that out. Not really change anything. Take that out. That doesn't change too much. Take that out. That doesn't change too much. I want this over here. There's some other way this could have gone. Put that up there. Get rid of that one first. Get rid of that one next. Let's see. I want this to also move in that general direction. Could narrow our focus a little bit that way. I don't think that helps. I mean, would that work? No. Anything better? Not really. Now what? We're missing this part. As a thought too. So I shouldn't be. Trying to solve too much because we need to get to that point. If we did that, that would work. Do that, that won't work. Well, what I'm thinking I want to do here is just play these off screen. It was fairly inevitable that I would get to that level in this game. At least very believable that I would get to that level. Where I just want to solve things. don't see how you do this puzzle without ending up. But you do need to end up with one extra, don't you? On both sides. Ah, that is the whole trick. You've got to crawl this down to this point and crawl probably this down to this point, which really means somewhere down to this point. So that is the right move, is to get to that level. Then similar fate waits. Okay. So when you move that down, then it's going to be about crawling the rest of this downward. That's possibly wrong. That's definitely wrong. So some of that is right. I imagine crawling two of them in that direction is not right, however. That gets us close. It does allow for that to be set. We're so close. So close. If we shut that down that way, we did that. Shut that down that way. Shut that down that way, and that, and that. Wow. Yeah, and I think that is a good... Did I lose points for taking so long on that? Let's see, where are we on upgrades? No, I'm still at a negative 1,000 points, but I don't think I actually lost points. I think it just was telling me my total as far as being in the negative. Which honestly, if I'm in the negative, there's half a thought worth making that I should exit out of the game and reload and see if it resets. So it says there's 5 puzzles here. I see 1, 2, 3. So there's 2 more puzzles. I guess we haven't tried, so let's see if we can find them. And that way we can see if we can pull this off. Okay. That one has to be different. So that we can then get down to this point to do that. Okay. This one I imagine might be the exact opposite of that, where we need them all to be the same, and that severely narrows it down. Okay, if we were to start at the bottom here, it's not going to do anything. If we were to do that, that's not going to do anything. Although that does just get rid of that. And so this is our linchpin. We need a blue. We haven't really touched. Okay, maybe we do that. Maybe we do that. Nope, this needed to be different before we did that. Might be a case that we do need something more. And that we needed to focus on this column in particular. Yeah. So there's a trick to that one. Let's find the other one and give it just about 5 minutes worth of an attempt, and then I'm going to, I think, do the rest of these off screen. So that's, let's just count again. That's 1 we haven't done. That's 2. We need 5. That's 3, and that's 4. And that's 5. So that is all of them. Okay. Which, that totally makes sense, because this really is too small of an island to have much of anything else on this. After we finish this enclave, the next move is just to go ahead and activate the pearl in the 5th of 5 areas. There's tons of pillars of insight and all-seeing monoliths in all the other areas, lower fragments, and a almost infinite amount of puzzles in general in the main areas to go with. There's also the mysteries that we know about, but as far as the enclaves, there's really going to be at most 4 or 5 or 6, I would say, enclaves left in the final area. Probably 5. We have really no reason why we wouldn't be able to unlock all these upgrades, with only a couple of them actually being useful. This one being useful only to get you sparks to unlock other upgrades and costumes. As far as our mastery goes, we're at level 32 of a potential level 100. There's one puzzle we still have yet to see to be unlocked. So unless these puzzles became very different or difficult, I'm not expecting too much from that. We still have 5 grid rules. We still have several insights to look at. I'm not going to click on the insights this time, and I'm just going to see if the notification red dot goes away when you potentially exit out of the game and reload it. There's tons of lore fragments. Tons of echoes of time, which you must have to do something like solve a mystery to get the echoes of time. Let's see, if this ends at 3, and then there are 3 rows, and then this ends after 5 rows at 5, that's not a one-to-one comparison. So obviously you're not getting 1 echo of time per mystery solved, but maybe you're gonna get several echoes of time at the end. Now that would be still too many of them. We still really don't have a lot of motivation here, and what's funny is in the game The Witness, you really don't have any guidance or reason to solve puzzles. You're not given any quest by a god or quest giver or anything, where Oriole here in this game really is telling you to solve the puzzles, or at least implying that you should solve the puzzles. And yet I feel like The Witness felt just more low-key relaxed, and this just feels overwhelming just because there's so many puzzles to it. I think also the fact that you have a custom character creator and a humanoid character, there is just this inherent pressure that I think most humans would have, that they should be doing something as a humanoid with their life and not just lazily sitting around sunning themselves like a cat might do in a world like this. Yeah, that is a funny thought. You put a cat in a game like this, it probably would never even begin to try to look at any of the puzzles. It would just enjoy the sun and the grass. But yeah, it does feel a little bit more pressured, and most of that is the 10,000 plus puzzles it claims to have. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and keep on watching. Thanks.